I thought it was about time to do an updated tutorial on getting up and running and taking the first registration through the new system. So as soon as you sign up and create an account, you'll be redirected to the profile page. So it's just filling in your profile. You can enable Welsh from going into settings, and that will then give you the options to put in everything in English and Welsh. So skip past that. That's done. So so just fill in your profile. And once you're happy with your profile, you can then share your page. And this is where you can add the Cymraeg Welsh option. So if that's ticked, you'll have the options for both English and Welsh. If it's not ticked, it'll be English only. I'll just quickly show you that. It's quite self-explanatory. But see, as you see there, you've only got the English options. So you won't be presented as a bilingual front page. It's a quick preview of your profile. So that's how quickly it is to add your information, and you've got a live web page then, and you can start inviting your parents to register with you straight away. But you can also customize your web page to make it more on brand with your setting. So go into logos and branding on the left there, and then you've got a live preview. So up top, you've got logo and banner images. And then if you scroll down slightly on the left, probably better to do this on a desktop machine than on a phone. On the left-hand side there, you've got the colors that you can add for your top banner and all your bars and button colors. Again, pretty self-explanatory. I won't take time. That's pretty easy to do. Once you're happy with that, if you scroll down to the bottom, there's a save button. Then you can preview that again. You can see your updated live page. So from here, you've got a few options then on sharing your homepage URL. So you can either copy the URL from within the profile and send that via email to parents, and they'll come directly to your homepage where they click register. Or on the bottom right, you've got the option to go back to that. So you've got the QR code, and you can just print that off, download it, and stick it around the Cylch or the nursery. Parents scan the image on their mobile phone, and they'll be redirected directly to your homepage. So once you're all set up and happy to go, share that around, and then you can take registrations. So parents come to your homepage, they click on the register button. If they don't have an account, they'll be asked to create a new account. If they do, they'll simply log in, and they'll get that pop-up there asking them, which child to register. If they have many children, it'll give them the option. But if they've only got the one, they can register the one. So you'll get the option to choose the child, choose the language you want to receive communications in. You've got the option to choose, the parent will have the option to choose sessions if you've got them set up. And they can also add a note to the registration request. As soon as that comes in, if you're a Cylch Meithrin, they'll be redirected to the P1 form from Mydiad, or you can add your own forms. So if you're a nursery and not a setting, you can create your own registration forms. So I'll probably go into creating forms in a bit more detail in another tutorial, but this is just showing you the flow. So redirected to your registration forms. I'll quickly fill that in with some gobbledygook. These are the other registration forms. So they're all the built-in Mydiad Meithrin forms that come with the system, all provided us from Mydiad. Nurseries won't see that. Cylchs get these built in. That's just a quick preview of them. So parents will get redirected to the form, asked them to fill in. Once they've filled in the form, you'll get a registration request, as you can see there. That'll come through as a setting. So you've got a new registration request from the parent for the child. You can choose to preview the form answers if you want, and then you can either reject it or confirm. Let's just quickly confirm that registration request. Now, that child goes into your children list, but they'll be as pre-registration to begin. So by default, all children go into pre-reg. And then from there, you can either set them to go from pre-reg to active at a certain date, or you can manually switch them over there and then. The only difference in them being active as compared to pre-reg is that they won't show in your lists when you're doing group updates. So that will only show you your active children. Quickly skip past that. So yeah, as you can see there in this list, that only shows active children when you do a group update, as you can see there. So yeah, so that, as you can see, is a bilingual. So that's how that works. Once your child is, once the child is registered and active, you can then create a contract for that child. So when it comes to invoicing, the invoices invoice or create the invoice based on what's in the contract. Okay, so we'll add these two slots, just a Tuesday and Thursday slot, both all day. We'll put a start date and end date just as a demonstration. So I think both of these slots are for £50 each, so that's £100 per week. So it should be a monthly total of £400 if there's exactly 4 weeks in a month. Yeah, there you go. So yeah, that's how you create the contract. Once you've created the contract, you save it, and then you need to send it to the parent for approval, because you can't start billing unless the contract has been approved. If the parent hasn't approved it within 3 days, you can then manually set it as approved yourself. But yeah, that'll be a notification that'll go off to your parents. Parents will get a ping saying contract waiting, as you can see there. They will need to approve it. They can either send you updates saying, oh, actually I want this day instead, or whatever they want to do. They can add from the comment section, or they can just set it to approved quickly there. So just set that to approved, and it pings back. Once that is live, you can then begin invoicing on that contract. There we go, contract updated, and then click onto the invoicing button on the right, and then you can begin invoicing. So as you can see on the right hand side, this parent has 2 children in, so that Ross Barker was our new one, and the new test child is still pre-reg. But Ross Barker, so we'll click into the contract for him, Ross, and then we'll choose the month that we want to invoice for. Let's just choose April. And then we can preview the invoice from there. And what that will do then, that will look at the contract that they've agreed to. It'll pull in the hours and the amount per slot. And it'll give you a preview then. It was 450. That was close. It will give you a preview of the amount to invoice for that month. If any of that seems wrong, you can edit that or delete any slots on the fly, and it will update in real time. So we'll just delete that one, and that, yeah, that's 400 now. So I'm happy with that. I'll click generate invoice. All that does is put the amounts into this text box. You can amend it there again if you want. Whatever's in that text box is what will go off to the parent as the description for the invoice. So that's the description. On the right hand side there we've got the subtotal, so that's £400. You can add discounts. So we'll quickly add a discount here. As an example, let's just add a discount of, we'll say it's, for example, 5 hours a month at a rate of £5 an hour. Choose the month that the discount applies for, because there's a different amount of days in each month. So it calculates the discount based on days in the month, not on like 4 weeks in every month. So the system is quite clever in that aspect. Once you're happy with the amount that is being calculated, you can then just copy the discount to the discount field, and then that will automatically subtract whatever amount is in there from the subtotal that you had previously. So that new total minus the £107 discount is £292.75. So that works for any kind of discounts, Fly and Start, Childcare Offer Wales, all of them. You can then choose to either send the invoice straight away. You can schedule it to send at a later date from the date picker, choose a date for it to send, or you can save it as a draft and come back to it later. But for now, we will just send that off. So that gets sent over to the parent. Again, parent gets a notification, new invoice comes in, and they get this list here. So if you've set up payment through the system, the parents will have the option to pay now, and they can then make the payment through the system. If not, parents can make the payment as they normally do, using bank transfer. Yeah, so that's how the pay now option works. Luckily, this demo Cylch hasn't been set up with payments, so we can't do any accidental payments. Yeah, so if you've not got payment set up, there'll be an option to notify setting that payment has been made via bank transfer. So the parent makes the transfer in the background using a cash transfer, bank transfer. They click the button to notify you. Then you'll get a notification then saying payment has been made. You can then cross-reference that payment with your bank, and once you've cross-referenced it and you're happy that that's been paid, you can mark the invoice as paid, and that will create a receipt for you and the parent for the amount that's been paid. Happy days. That's the invoicing. Is there anything else to show you? Let's have a quick look. Yeah, as you can see, there's a notification sent, so that would have been one that's sent over. I'm just getting a notification there because I've got payments set up, but I've not completed all of my steps to receive payments. So we use Stripe for payments. Okay, I think I'll leave it there. That's just a quick overview of how quickly you can create an account on Wootzoo, start taking registrations, and start billing parents. So you can do all that within 15 minutes. Up and running, you've got a web page, you're invoicing, you take your registrations, and we're just marking that one as paid there now. So that's a paid invoice. So you're a fully functioning business online in under 15 minutes. There'll be more tutorials coming through. Keep updated, and we'll keep them coming. Any questions or comments or suggestions to make the system better, please let us know. Speak soon.